Take in some really deep cleansing breaths right now. And as you do, either bring in that beautiful fresh air of the outdoor life, if that's where you are, or just knowing that beautiful air exists for us, even in the city, especially when we're in nature. So when we walk in the ravines where the trees are overhead, or we find a beautiful park, we're breathing in that beautiful energy of the nature and the trees, and just expanding our lungs. And so, just for a few moments, take a deep breath in and hold for just 2 or 3 seconds. And then exhale really loudly. And then again, inhale, filling those lungs as much as you can as you hold your breath for a few seconds. And then exhale those cleansing breaths. And one last time, inhale as deeply as you can. Holding and exhaling deeply. And then just being in touch with that natural breath, breathing in and breathing out. And as you move your awareness from your breath, bring your awareness to what's going on in your mind. Is it flittering around from one thought to another, or is it pretty still? Always knowing that because we're human, we can't completely still our minds. Thoughts and emotions pop in and out. But the more we bring it either back to our breath or back to our curiosity about the thought or emotion, the more our stillness can be. Just imagining that you're at a lake and it's the early morning before people get up and before the boats or paddle boats get on the lake. And you can just imagine that beautiful stillness. It's like glass. So you have that image available to you. And then as you look around, you might see the glimmer of the sunshine on the lake, the image of the trees as they reflect on the lake. And every now and again, you might see a fish just slowly jumping out of the water and right back in as it leaves a short little splash, and then the stillness. And that image is just like our life. Every now and again, something comes in that just distracts us from the stillness, but it's momentary. Just like the fish jumping out of the water and then disappearing. Knowing that when things do come out of the blue, unexpected, we can go to that still place in our minds. We can go there and just wait for it to pass. And then when we're literally in nature at our cottages, or when we're simply walking in the ravine or in a nice, beautiful park, when we stop to listen, nature is right at our fingertips. We bring in the beautiful chirping of the birds. It's like a chorus because there's so many birds and they all have a different sound, a different song that they're sharing with us. And as we walk along and we spend some silent time, we look down and notice the busy life that's actually right under our feet. The ants and the different insects, maybe the occasional worm. We feel the insects in the air. And maybe we lightly brush them away. But just knowing that it's all part of our interconnectedness, all part of our nature. And then we start to hear the rustling of the leaves as the wind picks up, just a very gentle breeze, but still the leaves are rustling. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, a plane flies by. And just like the fish, it interrupts our silence. It interrupts our internal reflection. But yet it's momentary. It's not going to last. It's going to keep flying to its destination. And instead of judging the plane and the noise and the interference with your silence, we can simply acknowledge that it's flying above us and it's going to go away. We simply say, that's curious, as we let it fly away and we return to the beauty of our own silence. And then as we walk in the ravine or we walk the country roads, we may hear a louder rustling and our attention gets taken away because we're not sure what it is. Could be a small animal, could be somebody walking in the woods. But we simply stop and pay attention to the sound and include that in our curiosity. Not getting attached to the sound, not fearing the sound. Just knowing there's a sound there. It's part of nature. Now we come back to our stillness. Come back to the visual appeal of the trees and the earth beneath our feet, the grass, the dew on the grass, and the rippling of the water. That beautiful sound that is very calming and very healing. And as we reach this place of stillness, we realize how our bodies are feeling while we are in nature. We're not paying attention to the little aches and pains or the little twitches and twinges. We're just absorbing the beauty of nature. Meaning that for that period of time, we've let go of any worry or fear about our bodies. And knowing that we can access this freedom from that fear at any time. We can simply stop and drop into our breath, embracing the beauty of the breath, honoring its life-giving force. And allowing our breath to breathe through our bodies as we nurture ourselves in nature. And then we walk a little further and we decide to take off our shoes so we can feel the dew on the grass or the grainy sand on the beach. And just feeling what that's like on our feet and how that's radiating through our whole bodies from our feet all the way up to the tops of our head. And we continue walking, being mindful of what's under our feet. And then suddenly you feel a little sharp tinge. We've stepped on an acorn or we've stepped on a shell. And ouch. But that ouch is just momentary. It doesn't last. We might wipe off our foot or rub our foot in the sand or the grass. And we carry on because just that simple action is enough to move our awareness to something new. All the while knowing we don't have to stay stuck in a place of discomfort. All the while knowing that our own minds and our own hearts can ease the temporary pain of whatever pops into our awareness. Whether it be the fish or the mosquito or something rustling in the woods or the acorn or seashell. It's temporary. And we can go back to embracing ourselves. And as we do, we realize the power of our inner wisdom over our mind, body, and spirit. Because we've experienced many times a simple setback or a simple discomfort. And even those huge setbacks that we've all experienced in our lives no longer exist for us in this moment. We have the ability to put them aside and to honor our inner wisdom of our mind, body, and spirit. And sometimes when we're in the city where we feel differently than we do when we're in nature, we can simply go outside and find a tree or a plant, or go to a ravine, a park, or a meadow, even the beach, and access that beauty that is there. We may have to travel a little distance to get there when we're in the city, but we can do it. We can find that place. We can sit by a creek or by the lake. We can listen to the beauty of the rippling of the water. We can feel the insects on our skin. We can smell the flowers and hug the trees. We must remember what is there for us. Remember the healing power of nature and all that it has to offer. And now we can go back to our breath. Our breath that is with us every single day. And now for the next few moments until you hear my voice again, you might choose to bring your awareness simply to your breath, always going back to that place. Or you might choose to bring your awareness to one of the images that you heard or that you felt. You might also create your own image of your own favorite place. For me, one of my favorite places to meditate is floating on the lake, just taking in all of the sights and the sounds. Just remembering, if your mind starts to wander and get attached, or your mind starts to ruminate, catch yourself when you can and come back to either your breath or the image. And so until you hear my voice again, we'll sit in the beauty of the silence. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings find peace.